That thing always gonna be blurry, man. Hate that. Okay. Boom, boom, bam. Yep, back with another edition of the Great Debate Show. Welcome back. I'm your host. It's your uncle, your favorite uncle in the world, Uncle JJ. And as usual, I got something to say. What do I have to say today? I always have something to say weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. All right, I'm back today. I hope y'all going to invite your favorite uncle to the barbecue, fish fry, whatever it is y'all doing this weekend. If you're celebrating Independence Day, man, look, holla at your uncle, man. I ain't got no invites from nobody. What's up? Y'all treat me like a third cousin, or y'all gonna treat me like a first cousin? Y'all gonna do me like Kirk Cousins? I like coleslaw and potato salad and baked beans and all of that. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a terrific Thursday. I hope y'all enjoy the holiday and all of that. It's hot out. I know that though. I'm here to talk about the Lake Show, the Los Angeles Lakers, real quick. The Los Angeles Lakers did what I said that they were going to do. They went and got their big, at least one of them. We said they needed a starting big and they need a backup big. Well, yesterday they went and got DeAndre Ayton. He agreed to a 2-year deal with the Lakers. How confident are you though that the Lakers are a championship team now after that move? Should they go get Jackson Hayes and bring him back also? I don't know what his price would be at free agency, but he's still a free agent right now, so he's not a hot commodity. They need him to come back for depth, maybe. They're also looking at maybe Marvin Bagley III. He was the second overall pick in the 2018 draft. You know who number 1 and number 3 was? DeAndre Ayton was number 1, and Luka was number 3 in that 2018 draft, and Marvin Bagley III was right in between them at number 2. Maybe they complete that trio by signing him. I'm not sure. But they need another big, for the backup purposes. Is this enough for LeBron to say we're a championship team and I'm going to stay? Or is it not enough and he's going to say this will be my last year, I'll give it a go, but I see what y'all doing. Y'all waiting on me to get the hell out of this building. Or does he say, you know what? The Eastern Conference looks so easy over there, like it used to before I left the Eastern Conference and came to Hollywood. When I used to go to all of those NBA finals and people used to give me so much credit on how great I am bringing the Cavs to the finals all the time, even though I never won, I never really won a lot of championships those years. Maybe I go back to the Eastern Conference right now. I would look good in the New York Knicks jersey, blue and orange. I've got a lot of familiarity with Mike Brown, the head coach over there. Savannah always does talk about, the Times Square and just New York, the bright lights, big city never sleeps, right? I can kick it with my boy Hove a lot more. No, I take that back. Hove was in Beverly Hills too, I believe. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. What if LeBron says, I don't think y'all are doing enough. You just did what was required. Send me to the Knicks. Would the Lakers listen to that trade? Would they talk to the Knicks? Would they say, you know what, that's not a bad idea. We'll take Karl Anthony Towns. Slide him in this front court with DeAndre Ayton. Luka can have a field day with that. Or maybe not. I don't know. Spacing, Cat definitely helps with the spacing. He's not LeBron, but we know he's a big 2 guard. So I'm just putting it out there because there was a report that LeBron could be a Knick. This whole LeBron trade, I know we like to think he's going to retire a Laker and his son is there and, he wants the other son there. But he's only got 1 year left, and it seems like the new ownership is telling LeBron this is the beginning of the end. We're near the end, So, that's just I don't know. That's my opinion. We'll see what happens, but it's not 100% lock that LeBron isn't going anywhere. And I just thought I would put that out there, and just in case something happens, you heard it here first. And that's why you subscribe to the Great Debate Show. That's why you follow the Great Debate Show, because y'all know that your Uncle JJ gets some of this stuff right more than not. We said as soon as the Portland buyout, this is a plan to help the Lakers. And that's exactly what it was. It was 6 other teams looking at Ayton once he cleared waivers. The Nuggets were one of them. The Bucks were one of them. And I forgot the other team. They only named 3 teams, though, but they said it was 6. Either way, how did neither one of those teams land him then? How did the Lakers just mysteriously get what they needed and what they wanted? This is nostalgia. This is what the same way Drew Holiday had a buyout with Portland 2 seasons ago in the offseason and still ended up a free agent after the buyout and fell in the Celtics' lap. And the Celtics won a championship because of it. Porzingis and Holiday, if those 2 aren't added to the Celtics roster, they don't win the championship in 2024. But it was what happened in the summer of 23 that led to that. And here we go again now. The Lakers mysteriously, conveniently, coincidentally just get who they need, DeAndre Ayton. All the other 6 teams crapped out. The Lakers didn't. Does this mean Ayton wanted to be a Laker? Does this mean he's going to play better with the Lakers? Because they say he didn't do good in Portland. I mean, at all. They say that he made excuses on why he couldn't do rehab. He made excuses on how he couldn't back out of his own driveway to come to practice in Portland, complaining about too much snow in his yard. And they say he just ain't all basketball. His priorities are not there. He's not focused on basketball. So I don't know how true it is. Maybe he just didn't want to be in Portland. Maybe you get the most out of him now that he's a Laker. I don't know. But, you know, the Phoenix Suns didn't keep him. The Portland Trailblazers couldn't wait to get rid of him. So there are red flags that come with it. He's a huge body. He's a big dude that they need. And we'll see how it goes. But do you think the Lakers are a championship team now that the starting 5 is Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Rui Hachimura, and now DeAndre Ayton? Does that roster sound better? And they're not that deep either. They still got what's his name, Dalton Connect, Vanderbilt, and those guys. But the Miami Heat are trying to trade Andrew Wiggins right now to the Lakers, and the Heat want Connect, Rui Hachimura, and more in return for that. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But Wiggins could be a Laker. What do y'all consider that to be, a big 4? Or if we were playing spades, what would it be, 3 books and a possible? I'm not sure. But that's what it looks like could be happening right now in Miami Heat, trading Wiggins to the Lakers. But they want Rui Hachimura. They want him in that. I don't know whether the Lakers give him up or not. We'll see. Let's see here. So the Lakers, are they a championship team? That roster that I just gave you, does it sound better than the defending champion Thunder? Does it sound better than the Houston Rockets? What about the Nuggets? They made some pretty good moves the past 48 hours, where some people think that they're still going to be not that good, and some people think the Nuggets are back. And I think they're back. What about the Timberwolves? I don't know. It seems like they're still probably a 5th or 6th seed team in the Western Conference. Are they better than the Thunder, Rockets, Wolves, Nuggets? Probably not. Probably not. What about the Warriors? Maybe they're tit-for-tat with the Warriors. I'm not sure. But the only teams that you can just say they're better than is probably my Grizzlies, who probably will be an 8th seed team or a play-in team now that they won't have Triple J for the first couple of months of the season. They won't have Desmond Bane at all. He's gone. And Zach Edey will be out. So it's going to be a weak front court in Memphis. But other than those teams, oh, and the Clippers. I didn't even mention the Clippers. They've got them with better odds to win the West than they do the Lakers. So the Lakers seem like they're still like somewhere around number 6. Now, that's just a seed. It doesn't mean like they won't make a run in the playoffs and get to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, but just putting that out there. The Lakers, once again, get what they want, as always. Just like the Celtics got what they wanted a few years ago with Holiday and Porzingis. Holiday fell in their lap. These buyouts, sometimes they don't even make sense when they try to explain it, and I'm just trying to tell you how I knew. When they said Portland's going to do a buyout with Ayton, I'm like, won't you just hand them over to him, you know? Or won't you just at least say you traded him? The buyout and tell me that there were 6 other teams that were trying to get him, but the Lakers were the only team to get him? Come on, man. Let's whatever. All right, so just wanted to talk about the Lakers. Can anybody tell me what's up? Are the Lakers a championship team now? I want to say grand rising, kings and queens, to everyone that's following me right now and watching me live on TikTok and YouTube. I do this weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I just left Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, and now I'm here. I want to say what's up to everybody on YouTube. What's up to everybody? Thank you for joining me. What's up over here to TikTok? Ethan the GOAT is in the building. What's up with you? How y'all doing? Chuck, Adrian, JV. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Tom and Jerry. Warriors finally got a center. Who did they get? Because I didn't know they got anyone. Who did they get? LeBron needs to just call it after next season. I think he will, Ethan. I think he will. Finally. All this debating about him at number 23, it does seem fitting that he will retire after season 23. That sounds very fitting. What's up to Mr. Fears? Noah in the building. Dan, Christian, Matthew. Thank y'all for joining me right now. Let's read some of these comments. Lucas, what's up, man? He said, what up? Let's see here. Y'all can hit that like button for me, please. It attracts more viewers. Share the live stream and all of that. I appreciate it. What's up, Rich in the building? Ethan the GOAT. Lucas said, I think the Warriors should invest in trying to get LeBron. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it at all. What are the Warriors doing? They're not doing much. But see, this is what happens when you don't have a lot of assets or any draft capital. And the Lakers didn't have any either. That's how I know this buyout with Ayton and the Trailblazers is just, hey, man, do this so we can get him, so he can come to the Lakers. It's almost like the owners just get together and say, well, Portland's not going to be a winning team, so we don't want them to win. Sacramento, remember Sacramento was good a few years ago when Mike Brown was coaching them? And then all of a sudden he just got fired and they traded a player here and there. The Kings were one player away from being a really good team. Remember? They could have been the Thunder before the Thunder, kind of. You've got Sabonis. You had De'Aaron Fox. You had Malik Monk. You had I can't think of the other guy's name. Man, they had some talent, and they were well coached. And then they fired Mike Brown, and then they kind of just broke the team up. It's almost like they're telling people, look, man, look, we don't create enough revenue in the NBA from Sacramento or from Portland. Send that player here. Send that star here. It's like sometimes they get rewarded for bringing in good talent or drafting a good talent. I mean, just look at what the NBA does. At times, they do some weird things. And when it doesn't add up or make sense to you, you've got to think one thing. All this stuff is rigged. And that's just what it is. What's up to Danny in the building saying, what's up? Angry Peanut. Don't be angry. Says hi. Thank you. Thank you. Up front with Keith. Says, what's up, brother? Man, I'm good. I'm doing good. What's up? Hope all is well. Hope y'all having a terrific Thursday. If y'all haven't subscribed to the Great Debate Show, please do. And I'm saying this for one reason and one reason only. People tell me sometimes they miss some of these episodes. And I'm like, how do you miss these episodes? I'm here 5 days a week. Sometimes more than that. Sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, depending on the emergency podcast when breaking news comes up. Hit the subscribe button. That's what's going to do it. If you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you won't miss me. Even if you missed the live stream and you can't join me at the time, you'll come back to it because I'm in your algorithm. I'm going to pop up because you've hit those things. If you don't, and I know you'd have it because there's times where I've uploaded episodes and there's really no views. And that's because nobody knew I did it. So y'all got to come to those videos too, not just the live episodes. If you subscribe, you won't miss any of that content though. And I predicted that DeAndre Ayton was going to be a Laker as soon as they said Portland was going to do the buyout with him about 4 or 5 days ago. That's why you got to watch me. That's why you got to subscribe and follow and hit that like button because let's be honest, y'all. I mean, I'm the smartest uncle around here right now. I'm the smartest uncle y'all got when it comes to these sports. I'm always on top of it, and I'm usually predicting it exactly the way it's going to go. Now, I'm finna get into the New York Knicks and Mike Brown in a minute, and then I got to talk AFC North, NFC North. So we got a lot to cover here, a lot of ground to cover. Thank you, Keith. Love the belts and the briefcase. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Ethan in the building. Ethan Scott says, Finn finally won championship, but have a good tag team title reign. Yeah, Judgment Day. I'm not opposed to them winning the belts. I'm glad for them, but I just wish they'll do more with the Judgment Day. Just period. Just do more with them. Okay, Lakers is going to be good without LeBron this year or next year, though. I think there's still a possibility that he could be a Knick this year. Karl Anthony Towns and DeAndre Ayton in the front court, that don't sound too shabby. It doesn't. You've got two bigs that can move, especially Ayton, and that's what Luka needs in his pick and roll offense. And, you know, the alley-oop, you know, dunking and all that, that's what he needs. I'm not saying they're going to move on from LeBron. This is a good team with LeBron, but this can also be a deeper team without LeBron. And I just know LeBron and how calculated he is. He's a wise, smart brother. I bet you he's at least thinking about getting back with Mike Brown, coming to the Knicks, looking at how weak and how wide open the Eastern Conference looks right about now. I'll be surprised if he's not at least considering it. And the fact that the Lakers didn't even talk to LeBron about extending his contract beyond this season tells me that they're ready for that expiring contract to expire so they can do what a basketball team is supposed to do, build the right way around their star, Luka Doncic. And it's hard to do that when $53 million of the cap is being eaten up by LeBron, who's 40 years old, and he's not their future anymore. So just don't, I would just say don't underestimate what will happen in the NBA. After January and that Luka trade to LA, you can't rule out anything, in my opinion, these days. All right. Matthew said Jota passed away. Oh, is that a race car driver? Or, I'm sorry, no. Was it soccer? I think he's a soccer player or something. I think I saw that just a little earlier before I started this stream. How do you feel about Damian Lillard getting released? Well, I think it's a good thing for Damian Lillard, but it still was effed up on how they done that. I don't care if they did talk to him. I don't care. That still was effed up. One, because, man, he's hurt. And he got hurt because he came back to play for y'all motherfuckers after a blood clot injury that he shouldn't have been playing around with in the first place. He got past the blood clot and said, I'm coming back now, and tore his Achilles. That's what makes it effed up. And then two, it's stupid because you gave up way too much for Dame Lillard. Way too much to just waive him. Just so you could use that money to put. Now, I will say this. Miles Turner in the front court with Giannis, that ain't a bad look now. That could actually work out. But the problem is, I don't see any scores in their backcourt. I don't see any. So that is the problem for me with the Bucks. And that's why I still wouldn't be surprised if Giannis said, hey, man, I changed my mind. I'm leaving. And if anybody wants to know, this was somewhat breaking news yesterday. Giannis Antetokounmpo said that he will make his decision on whether he will stay with the Bucks or leave the Bucks in August or September. So what that means is that every team in the NBA who thought that they could land him pretty much gave up on it because it didn't happen. And he said, I'm just going to chill and I'm just going to monitor the situation. How can I put this? There's going to be a team or two that are going to look at this whole scenario and say, damn, we did all of this. And now we may have to bust it up again. Like, what if the Houston Rockets, what if Giannis says, I want to go play in Houston? And I hate to say Houston because they look good and they've had the best offseason so far. But what if he said he wanted to play in Houston? What do the Rockets do? After they just brought in Finney Smith and KD and extended Jabari Smith and brought back Clint Capella, what do they do? Do they say, you know what? Clint Capella was just depth anyway. Yeah, take him. You know what? Amen Thompson, you cool and all? Or maybe Jabari Smith. No, not Jabari Smith because he's the young version of Kevin Durant. So they'll probably hold on to him. I hate to say it, but what about young Amen Thompson? You can have him too. And matter of fact, here's a pick to make it even sweeter. Bring us Giannis. I'm not saying the Rockets would do that, but I'm just saying if there's a team that has did everything they could to be better next season, but then Giannis says in August or September, hey, I want to come there. Do you say, nah, I'm good? We already took care of our roster back in July. Or do you bust it up again and say, well, since he wants to come here, that's still a better deal. I know I just left the showroom floor with this, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good American car. But it still ain't this Ferrari that wants to come over here. You know? So I know I still got my 30 days. I'm bringing the car back. Give me the Ferrari. I'm just saying, would he do that? That's why I think it's effed up that Giannis is going to wait till then. He should be doing it now. Everybody's going to be done putting their roster together, and you wait till August or September. That's what he's saying, though. So I just wanted to put that out there. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think he's going to say, I'm staying, or do you think he's going to say, I'm leaving? That's what Giannis said yesterday, though. I think he likes the Miles Turner signing, but they've said he does not like the wave and stretch that they did with Dame Lillard. So we'll see. Ethan Scott said Austin Reeves declined a massive contract. That's something LeBron should have been doing, opting out and signing for a lesser contract. If he wanted to win a championship, that's probably what he should have done, and he didn't do that. That's why a lot of people are getting frustrated with LeBron James, even Laker fans. Ethan also said Austin might leave, LeBron leaving. Hold on, Austin might leave, LeBron leaving, who knows? Maybe the Lakers trade Austin Reeves for good pieces and LeBron, but ain't nobody talking about that. Well, Austin Reeves doesn't want to leave. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. What he wants doesn't mean a thing to the Lakers' new ownership. But I kind of think that they're listening to Luka right now. At least that's the report. They're listening to Luka. He's the leader now. You know? He's the leader now. They're looking over there at LeBron like, yeah, I hear you, LeBron. Yeah, we're talking to Luka right now, though. Could you go do some shoot arounds or something? Yeah, go do some Pilates or something, man. We good. They're listening to Luka. And if Luka says he wants Austin Reeves there, Austin Reeves is going to be there. And that's just that. I think LeBron is the one who needs to be traded. They can get a lot more for him. But then again, there's teams out there saying they don't want to give up too much for a 41-year-old that is more like a 1-year rental. Maybe you'll be lucky to get him for 2 years because his time is winding down, period, in the NBA, not just with the Lakers. There's a report that he could go to New York, though. What if he's looking at Mike Brown and he wants a reunion? And he loves Brunson and he loves the team that they've got over there in New York. Would they still be just as good if they just swapped LeBron and Karl Anthony Towns? Is there a way that Karl Anthony Towns can stay and the Lakers just ask for Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges and Anunoby? I'm not sure, but I'm just putting that out there. It's not out the question that LeBron could leave the Lakers. It's not. Okay, I think I said enough about the basketball. Do you think the Lakers are a championship team? Where do they fall as far as the top 8 seeds go in the playoffs right now? Western Conference. Where do you put them in? You've got the Thunder. You've got the Rockets. You've got the Nuggets. You've got the Mavs. You've got the Timberwolves. You've got the Clippers. That's 6 teams that are possibly still better than the Lakers. That will put the Lakers at like 7. And so who would 8 be? The Spurs? Maybe the Spurs are better. De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama, we ain't really get to see that because of the blood clot injury or situation that Wemby had. So this is going to be interesting. The Western Conference is going to be interesting, but I can see LeBron looking over there in the Eastern Conference saying, this reminds me of when I used to run the East when it was trash. You know? Could he go back to the Knicks? Could he go to the Knicks? Could he go back to Cleveland? I don't know. We'll see. If he stays the Lakers are a top 6 seed team, and I think they're probably right at 6 or 7, depending on where you rate the Clippers and the Spurs and the Warriors. And unfortunately, my Grizzlies are probably a play-in team because they're going to get out to a slow start without Triple J in the lineup with the turf toe injury. He won't be back until probably Thanksgiving or Christmas. And then you've got Zach Edey, who's going to miss some time in the beginning of the season. We know Bane is gone, so Ja's going to really have to average 40 to keep us as a playoff team. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen. All right, but that's enough about basketball. I think most of the free agent signings, most of the buzz is already over. It usually pops off the first 24 to 48 hours, and then that's it. So I think that's going to be it. Finn needs one more world title. Might dethrone Gunther, but I'm being biased. Yeah, I just can't see Finn Balor being a world champion, though. And the fact that you said one more, that means he's already been a champion before, and I didn't know that. That's probably the days I wasn't watching when AEW was better. Let's see here. Ethan the GOAT. Joda was a soccer player. That's right. With Ronaldo. If that ain't working, Nook if they buck. What's good, brother? What's up, Ashton? Adrian in the building saying, who's going to the Spurs? I don't know who that is, bro. I don't know who that is you're talking about, bro. Bro, when are you going to cash in your money in the bank? What's up, Muggy? Man, as soon as they invite me in, as soon as they let me jump the barricade and get in the ring, I will. I'm delusional, but Golden State. What is Golden State doing, Ashton? Ford or Toyota? I don't know. I guess if we're talking trucks, Ford. But cars, Toyota. Soccer fan, ripped to Dia Joe Joda. Died too young, age 28 in a car crash. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to him, man. Soccer player that just was in a car accident. We heard about a little earlier. Jake Lang in the building said Niner gang. Bang, bang. Wade in the building. What's up with you? Thank you for joining me. Micah, what's up with all this Chevy or Ford talk, man? We talking basketball, football, we're going to talk Chevys and Fords. All right, I think I've pretty much caught up on some of the comments. Duval Davis is done. It's a new owner, that's loyalty. Talking about the Lakers now. Remember when Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone wrestled in WCW? Oh, man, the good old days. Yes, I do. Dream match, Hardy's Judgment Day. That could have happened, but the WWE didn't bring them back. I thought Ayton was going to the Clippers. No, Adrian. He's a Laker. They are getting rid of LeBron, says Ethan the GOAT. If he removes that trade clause, he is good as gone. Drippy boy, I need more followers. I do too, man. I do too. I hope y'all follow me. Thank you, Drippy boy, for following. Adrian, remember Montana, then Steve Young. Of course, you see Steve Young behind me on that picture. I heard they're trying to build around Luka. They might be getting rid of LeBron, says Chuckster. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Everybody keep telling me to shut up. Stop babbling. Stop yapping. It's a podcast. I'm supposed to yap. Shit. Watch me, listen to me yap. Keep it pushing. But yeah, man, you could be right, Chuckster. How you feel about Damian? Okay, I read that already. I think Dame may retire. Nah, he won't retire. He's finally a free agent. He's gonna sign somewhere. And if I'm him, I'll wait till March, April. He's got time to sit back and look and see what he wants to do and who looks the best, where he fits in. Can I win a chip? And yeah, he'll be kind of ring chasing, but hey, it is what it is. The Denver Nuggets are hiring Mavs coach to be David Adelman's assistant. It looks like that coach is Jared Dudley. Congrats to Jared Dudley. Oh, Ethan Scott said he was the first ever Universal Champion. Okay, didn't know that. Finn won in 2016 but got hurt. Yeah, I don't see him as a world champion though. If they done that and hadn't done it again, then that was just a one-time thing. It was they didn't have anybody. It was bad in 2016. WWE was terrible. So I must go on a limb and say that probably will never happen again. And if it does, it'll be very short term, just like the last one. That's just my 2 cents though. All right, I think I've caught up on all of the comments on TikTok. So let's get to the NFL. And again, thoughts and prayers to that guy that passed away, the soccer player, man. Let's see here. How about them Wizards? We just keep getting worse and worse. We should relocate at this point. I know, man. I don't know what to say about the Wizards. I don't know. No Lakers team, not championship team, but has a good roster. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Okay. All right. I think I'm caught up here. What are the Warriors going to do? They've had a week off season, y'all. They ain't done much. But, you know, they gave up a lot to get Jimmy Butler. And sometimes you can reach so much, you can't reach anymore. There's nothing but a cliff, and they're this close to falling off of it. And the only thing they can say is them is Giannis saying, I want to go to the Bay Area. And I don't know if he's going to say that or not. He's going to wait till August or September before he tell us anything. Let's get to the NFL. Did y'all hear what, what's his name? Rashad Bateman, wide receiver of the Baltimore Ravens, said? He said that this Raven team is the best that it's ever been since he's been a part of the organization. Is this going to finally be the year that the Baltimore Ravens win a damn Super Bowl, or at least have a Super Bowl appearance? Right now, we know that the Kansas City Chiefs have been running the AFC. Basically, they've been the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. There's a lot of good teams. Charles Barkley and the Suns, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton and the Sonics, Malone and Stockton and the Utah Jazz. All of these teams, Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trail Blazers, even aging Magic Johnson and the Lakers. All of these teams were good, but couldn't get championships because of somebody named Michael Jordan. And even though I know these teams, like these players like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and CJ Stroud and all of these quarterbacks are in the AFC, but they can't even get to the Super Bowl because they can't get past who we call the boogeyman, the baby goat. That's what we were calling him before he got his ass whooped in Super Bowl 59. Is this the year that Lamar or Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl? Rashad Bateman thinks the Ravens are the best right now. And I don't even think it's a debate as to who's going to win the AFC North. I don't think the Steelers or the Browns or the Bengals get, maybe the Bengals, but I don't think the Steelers or the Browns, definitely not the Browns, give the Ravens any kind of threat to that AFC North crown. The problem is, what do the Ravens do when they get out of the regular season? Certain things happen, all the little things, a catch, a drop here, a fumble there. You know, things just happen to the Ravens at the worst times possible while they can't get there. Do you think this is the year the Ravens can do it? I've been talking about the AFC North on and off for the past week, but all this basketball news keeps interrupting that shit. But the Ravens are a good team, and Bateman seems to think that this is the best. Which quarterback do you think is in a better position to reach the Super Bowl, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? In the AFC North, Aaron Rodgers has a lot on his plate. It's going to be a lot to try to get past these teams, the Ravens. The AFC North and the NFC North are the best divisions in football, and the Browns are not even good. You know, the Bears didn't make the playoffs, but we know and we expect them to be better. So I'm about to get to the NFC North in a minute, but just what did you think of Rashad Bateman's comments in Baltimore? Are the Ravens, is this finally their year? I think Lamar Jackson is phenomenal, and I think when we're just talking about talent-wise, he's the best football player in the world. I really do think that. I know that he hasn't gotten far enough. I know he's 3-5 in the playoffs, but I just think that he gets too much flack, too much blame, too much pushback. John Harbaugh, the head coach of, I don't know, 15 years, 16 years, he doesn't get any pushback, any flack. He's never been on the hot seat. Well, once. And guess who saved him from losing his job back in 2018? The rookie Lamar Jackson, who came off the bench and saved that team from missing the playoffs and him losing his job because Flacco was terrible. Now, ever since then, that seat hadn't got hot or even the slightest bit warm since. But he doesn't bring in the right assistant coaches. He doesn't bring in a lot of offense for Lamar Jackson. He doesn't know how to sign a wide receiver under the age of 30, under the age of 34. You have to be 34, 35 before you even get signed by the Ravens. DeAndre Hopkins, Dez Bryant, OBJ. You see where I'm going with this? Why doesn't Harbaugh get any flack at all? Why doesn't the OC get any flack? You know, why doesn't the lack of talent that Lamar has had get any talent? But just because he finally got Derrick Henry one year, he was supposed to be winning it all? I'm not finna say the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. I done that last year and I was wrong. Dead wrong. So I'm not doing it anymore. I hope he does get there at some point, but with my luck, it'll be against my Niners and he'll kick our ass. And he'll finally win a Super Bowl at my expense. So I'm not doing any predictions right now on who's going, but I just wanted to say it's probably the Ravens 1. If the Bengals can get Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson in camp and signed, they're probably 2. Steelers 3, Cleveland 4. Hopefully Shadur starts at some point. And who cares about Deontay Johnson, who says Kenny Pickett looks like he's going to be the starter right now. If that's the case, then we know the Browns will still be at the bottom. I think the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson is an interesting topic, and we'll continue to talk about that until it gets resolved. But the Bengals are facing a hell of a dilemma where they paid Higgins and Jamar Chase. And now they're looking to either trade Trey Hendrickson or somehow pay him and get him in camp. And then they got a first-round pick in Shamar Stewart, defensive end first-round pick who left mandatory minicamp because of the lack of negotiations. And everybody's seeming to say that it's the Bengals' cheap-ass front office. There's a chance that Shamar Stewart could actually re-enter next year's draft or get traded to another team this year. So the Bengals could be the second best team in the AFC North if they can get these guys to camp. They also could be near the bottom of the division if they don't get these guys to camp. And we don't know if Shamar Stewart was Trey Hendrickson's replacement or if they really wanted to double down and put these guys together and rush off both edges, which would be pretty damn dangerous. So I don't know. And then there's TJ Watt with Pittsburgh who wants a contract too. So the AFC North is very, very, very interesting right now. But I'm going to say right now, Ravens 1, Bengals this time 2, Steelers 3, Browns 4. Steelers may actually miss the playoffs, and this could finally be it for Mike Tomlin also. And I think they need to blow this thing up, and they all need a change of scenery. All right, let me get to the NFC North now. All this hype around Caleb Williams. Caleb. Do y'all think that Caleb Williams is going to actually be a good quarterback in this league under Ben Johnson? We're going to find out if it's Caleb Williams or if it's the team. How long are we going to continue to make excuses for him and say that the Chicago Bears are just the trash-ass Chicago Bears? And that's why he doesn't look good. Who does look good under center with the Chicago Bears? They've never had a quarterback to throw 4,000 yards in a season ever. That's embarrassing. It really is. Ever? And the Super Bowl that they do have with Jim McMahon, he's never been on nobody's list. He ain't been on the top nothing. So Caleb Williams could really, really, really be a breath of fresh air. He could be considered a god in Chicago if he can just turn it around and be everything that the Bears thought he would be when they drafted him. But what we fail to realize is that Ben Johnson, as good as he is as an OC, we don't know if he's an OC, just an OC, or can he really be a head coach? Calling plays for an offensive line that was the best in the league in Detroit. Jared Goff, a serviceable quarterback. Whether you think he's a game manager or not, he's a good quarterback that has been in a Super Bowl. And damn near got back to another one if they didn't have so many injuries on the defense. 2 good running backs in the backfield. St. Amari Brown and those guys, man. I mean, that's a lot of talent he had there. All right, this ain't going to be the Detroit Lions. Yes, the Bears have some talent. Yes, they look like they could be good on paper. But it all falls back on, is Ben Johnson an OC or is he a head coach / OC? And is Caleb Williams that dude or not? He holds the ball too long. He took way too many sacks. His passer rating sucked. He's just got to do better. And I thought that they actually put together some good things around him in 2024, and I thought he kind of stunk it up. Now, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. I'm saying what a lot of people don't like to say, but they should say a lot more. I'm saying I don't know. And I don't know how to predict the Bears right now, but in order for them to move up in the division, somebody has to come down in the division. And do you see the Vikings sliding down? Do you see the Lions sliding down? Do you see the Packers not coming back? They regressed a little bit last year, but Jordan Love was hurt, and I think that played a part to it. Some people don't think Jordan Love is that dude. We'll find out. But if there's anybody that's going to slide, it might not be Detroit. Or do you think Detroit is not as good without Ben Johnson? I'm not sure. Can J.J. McCarthy elevate the Vikings? Or maybe they're the team that's going to slide. I don't know, but somebody's got to be a little worse. Somebody's got to regress a little bit in order for the Bears to come up. And that's the biggest topic of the day. What do you see the Chicago Bears in 2025? All right, let me get to the comments and see what y'all talking about after I said what I said. We all know the Niners finna go to the ship in February, says Derek RC. It sounds good, brother. It sounds good, and I hope you're right. Niners get ultimate home field advantage in Super Bowl 60. Wouldn't it be good? Wouldn't it be good? Because the last time they were hosting the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 50, we were terrible. It had all went downhill after that. Went downhill. And the Broncos won that Super Bowl in Levi Stadium, beating the Carolina Panthers. Man, that was 10 years ago. Time flies. Allen over Lamar. I'm not opposed to that. If anybody says Lamar over Allen, I'm not opposed to that. Both of those brothers can play some football, and they're some of the most talented guys in the league. I just give Lamar a slight edge because he's so dynamic. He's still so explosive. And even though Josh Allen is a dual threat too, Lamar's still a little better. But with the arm, Josh is better. But then again, I think Josh Allen has better play callers. I think he has a better structure with his offense. And I think that the Ravens are just so vanilla. And it's just run the ball, Lamar. Do your thing. You know? We know what you're capable of. Just do it. He has to put his cape on every Sunday. And they just don't give him enough. The Steelers, 2. Bengals, 3. Okay, Baba. Baba Westbrook says he still thinks the Steelers can come in at 2 in the AFC North. The Bengals are not making the playoffs again, says Baba. They probably won't, but I'm leaning on the fact that they get one of those guys signed. If they get both of those guys signed and they drafted pretty good, we think defensively, the Bengals could come back because we know the offense putting up 30. Don't forget that now. They're going to win some games just off the offensive loan. They did that last season. But to win more games and to get in the playoffs, the defense has to be better. But I can see why you think the Bengals won't make the playoffs again. I tell you what, if they don't, can we stop talking so much shit about Joe Burrow? That's what I say. If they don't make the playoffs, we got to stop praising Joe Burrow so much. We like to put him right behind Patrick Mahomes, and he ain't beat Patrick Mahomes in 4 years. That's been a minute. And they ain't been to the playoffs in a minute. So if Baba Westbrook is right with what he's saying here on TikTok, we got to stop praising Joe Burrow so much and shitting on Lamar Jackson. Because he's still doing more than what Joe Burrow has been doing in the past few years. We know that he beat Patrick Mahomes. He did it once. That was a while ago. What have you done for me lately? Could the Packers go to the Super Bowl? Yeah, they could, but I don't really see that happening. They're going to have to show me a little bit more. But I do expect them to bounce back. That's why the NFC North is going to be so tough. Bears are going to be tougher because of Ben Johnson, said Lucas. Well, that's what we're waiting to see. Can't wait to see. Lucas predicts Lions 1, Vikes 2, Packers 3, Bears 4. So he doesn't see the Bears making any progress. And what will be the reason for that, Lucas? If the Bears are still stuck at the bottom, is it just because the NFC North is that talented? Or is it just because somebody ain't holding up on their end of the bargain? What would be the reason on why the Bears are not better? The defense? The lack of Caleb Williams progress? Or Ben Johnson, where we find out that Ben Johnson is just an offensive coordinator? That's what we got to find out, you know? Is he Nick Sirianni or is he Josh McDaniels? Because we know Josh McDaniels was just an OC. That's what we found out. All right, Ravens and Lions in the Super Bowl. That was my pick last year, Tillman. I mean, Tillis. That was my Super Bowl pick last year. And I got it wrong. The Lions had a lot of injuries on defense. So we didn't even get to see them get past the first playoff game. They got upset by the Commanders. And then the Ravens, they didn't get past Buffalo. Do you think Sean McVay will win another Super Bowl? Probably. Probably so. But not with Matt Stafford. And I think they should have drafted Shadur. You believe in Purdy? Depends on which day it is. It depends on who's playing. If he's got a certain amount of people out on his offense or his line, no. If he's got everything and all the bells and whistles, sometimes yes. It's a weird thing with Purdy. He can be just as good as he can be. He can also be just as bad. It depends. Good question, Baba. Pickens getting 1K receiving, says RJ3. I think he'll be close. But I'm thinking somewhere around 800 to 900 yards. It's only one football to go around. And he'll get close to it, but it'll be mainly because he's in Dak Prescott's face every time. You're going to see some stuff on the sideline this year, Cowboy fans. Get ready for it. Do you think the Steelers, who had 1 year left on Pickens' deal before they had to pay him, do you think it's a coincidence do you think they just traded him to you all for nothing? He's an asshole. They don't like him. He's got characteristic issues. He's a cancer in the locker room. And he's not as good as Antonio Brown, so they're not going to put up with his shit as long as they put up with AB shit. AB was a bad boy. Pickens we're still trying to figure out if he's a bad boy. He ain't got a lot of speed, though, but he does win those 50-50 balls. So he's going to get on Dak Prescott's nerves. I'm telling you that now. He and CD could bump heads at times, too, when one thinks they're not getting the ball enough, and they're both divas, so that's going to happen. And CD ain't about to let Pickens come over there and take his stats, mess up his stats. He's not. We're going to see how much they want to win or how much they want to just look good and be in the end zone dancing and shit. We're going to see. But I don't know if he gets 1,000. If he gets 1,000 and CD gets 1,000, the Cowboys may be in the Super Bowl. Do you think they're going to the Super Bowl? Let's see here. Go Blue. He's about to win it all. Who is he? Remind me again when Lamar took the Ravens to the Super Bowl. I just said he never has. What do you mean? I know he hasn't. I'm saying that it's still possible that he can. And I don't think they should be getting blamed that much. Josh Allen. Remind me when Josh Allen has gotten the Bills to the Super Bowl. They're both fighting the same boogeyman. You know, as I made the analogy when I talked about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Reggie Miller, Barkley, Malone, all these guys couldn't get chips because of him. Same situation. Same situation. But it doesn't say that Karl Malone wasn't good. Nobody said that Reggie Miller wasn't good. Still DRE in the building. When does Rollins decide to cash in? Who will ruin his cash in besides maybe Punk and LA Knight? Roman Reigns. We're still waiting on him to come back. Even though he'll just be in and out, he won't be there long. Last time Ravens won the Super Bowl, they had a crushing close loss the year before. History about to repeat itself. Oh, wow. A crushing loss the year before. Okay, so that would be 2011. What was the crushing loss? The Patriots kicked the field goal and won, I think. Oh, did the Ravens miss a field goal or something? I'm trying to think. I know 2012 was the year the Ravens won. They beat my team. And you said it was a crushing loss the year before. So you're saying, but the Ravens have had crushing losses the past couple of years, right? But I hear what you're saying. I don't think Caleb's going to improve at all, says Lucas. Ooh, ouch. A part of me kind of wants to agree with Lucas too, y'all. A part of me does. Up front with Keith says, are you seeing my messages? Yeah, I read all of your messages up front. Didn't I? Yeah. Money in the bank stuff. Yeah, we talked about it. Nobody has commented again here on YouTube. But yeah, I read your message. Steel DRE, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Derek said Metcalf should have got over himself being big mad at San Francisco and should have signed with San Francisco a long time ago. I would have loved to have him. I wanted DK Metcalf or AJ Brown in the draft. I was like, if we can get either one of these boys from Ole Miss, I'm cool with it. And I went down there to see them play a few times, and because I mean, like, I'm literally right up the road from Ole Miss, kind of. So and we drafted Debo instead. I appreciate Debo, but he's not those two. Definitely not AJ. RJ3 said, nah, I'm a realistic Cowboys fan. We ain't winning-ish, but at least if CD and Pickens are fun. Yeah, I like that. Well-grounded comment there. Very realistic. Very realistic. And you're probably right. But I will say this, the Cowboys will be better than what people think they're going to be. Up front, Keith, if that's you, man, I'm here. But you ain't said nothing in a while. But yeah, I talked about your money in the bank briefcase comments. I'll cry less, says RJ3. Hi, hungry, I'm dead, says 49ers loss feels like a Cowboys win for me. That's what they all say, right? It was either a drop pass versus the Pats or the Pats scored last second touchdown. Yeah, it was something like that. I remember that. Unpopular opinion. If you not a rival, hating Dallas is corny. I'm a rival and I don't even hate Dallas though. RJ3. And that's just real talk. People come in here and troll all the time, but it doesn't bother me. I don't care about the Cowboys. I don't like them or hate them. I just don't give a damn about them. There's some fans that talk too much, but I don't give a damn. None of that bothers me anymore because I know that ain't none of this shit real. And that's what kind of fucks everybody up when I say that. And they're like, well, why are you talking about it? Because I love sports. I'm hypnotized. I can't leave. I try to, but they keep bringing me back. Even when I stopped podcasting, they said, come back. And I said, but I don't want to play both sides of the fence. This shit ain't real. Who cares? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. That's what some of the people say. There's no sometime. It is or it isn't. You know? It's just that black or white. There's no shades of gray. It's real or it's fake. And I think that the game is real, but they still do what they're told to do. And that's just that. Y'all ever look at something and be like, this is weird. Why are they playing this cover 2 bullshit? Why are they not just bringing the pressure like they normally do? Why are they just sitting back letting them pick them apart? Because, I don't know, there's too many parlays on this dude to get a sack or the defense to allow this many points. I don't know. There's always something behind it, and it's usually all about the Benjamins, baby. No Diddy. Diddy may be a free man too pretty soon, y'all. He is guilty of 2 counts. But that's that prostitution shit. If he lived in Vegas, that wouldn't even be illegal. He may be back on the streets pretty soon, y'all. I don't know. Texans legit might have best defense in the league this year. I like the Texans. I like their head coach. I like their quarterback. Love DeMeco Ryan. Let's see what Tillum is saying to RJ3. He says the brand, same way the Yankees gonna be in headlines, win or lose. Yep, that's the Cowboys and the Yankees and the Lakers. How much are those NFL belts, bro? Man, look them up on the NFL shop. I mean the WWE shop. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive either to others. It just depends on who you're asking. But yeah, they're somewhere in the 500s, something like that. Sometimes you can get them on sale for $4 something, something like that. I need a Ravens one. It's there. I promise you, it's there. WWE and the NFL shop. Was anybody here with me when I told y'all the story about Super Bowl 58 before the Super Bowl started? I had a partner with me, Melvin. If you're watching, you remember this story. His cousin showed up and she sit by us and she saw my belt sitting at the table, and this is pregame, and she said, where did you get your belt from? And I said, well, you can get it off NFL shop, but I got mine off of WWE shop. And she said, okay. So a few minutes later, she puts the phone up and she puts it in my face and she said, is this it? I said, no, that's the Chiefs. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, but they look so much alike. Oh, and she looked at it a little bit more and she said, oh, okay, I see it now. She didn't see the designs well. She saw red and some gold or some trims. She thought it was us until she saw that yellow. And I said, so did you type in the Chiefs or? She said, no, it just popped up. I said, huh? And she said, yeah, it just popped up. I'm like, you went in the WWE shop looking for one of these belts and the Chiefs just popped up? She said, yeah. I had to X out of it and go pull up San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know how the WWE shop works. They try to sell and they make money. And when they put stuff up on sale or they put something out on that thing, it's because it's going to be a hot commodity. It's going to be a quick sale. Everybody's going to be running to get it online. Before they kicked the ball off in the Super Bowl, why did the Kansas City Chiefs NFL custom-made belt pop up on her phone when she went to the WWE shop? Why wasn't it the Chiefs and the 49ers? It was just the Chiefs. They were already getting the jump with the sales, putting it up there, saying that you could get it for this much off, and it was a countdown onto how you need to hurry up and click on it. The WWE had already been informed that the Chiefs are going to be the champions of Super Bowl 58. That's what it was. Muffin in the building. Hello, Muffin. Says, I got mine for $5.88 shipped. Which one do you have? What's your team? You got one of those? Congratulations to you. I don't remember what I paid, but that sounds about right. Something like that. But I'm just trying to tell y'all why I think it's fake. Because why was the Chiefs belt for sale before they kicked off Super Bowl 58? That was crazy. Chiefs are trendy, gotta capitalize on the sales. And the 49ers aren't trendy? It was the Super Bowl. They were about to kick off the Super Bowl. Nah, I think that's why the Niners made it to the Super Bowl, because the Detroit Lions had us beat in that championship game. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm always going to keep it real. Never really being biased, and if I am, I'll tell you I'm being biased. Okay? That's why you want to subscribe. That's why you want to follow me. And I'm telling you, the Niners got to the Super Bowl because they know they're going to travel, they're going to spend, and they don't have to travel as far. California to Vegas is nothing. But Detroit, a lot further. You know, Detroit still economically is not one of the better cities. You know what I mean? They've dealt with recession and some more shit. So I just think that they just said, nah, we're pulling it. The Lions ain't going to spend money like the Niner fans. And they put us in there. But they knew we were losing. So I just wanted to tell that story again for anybody that didn't hear it. When I say certain things and you're like, why did he say that? I don't think it's real, y'all. But I think, you know, at times things do look real. But I just love the game. And even though I know they're bullshitting, you see how the refs is blowing a whistle tonight? Yeah, I see what time it is. But it don't mean like I'm just going to stop watching completely. I podcast about it. James, what's up, man? In the building. He said, hi, it's me, James. What's up, man? Up front, Keith, you still with me or did you leave? People get mad when you don't read their comments fast enough. Like, damn. I read it, bro. He left. I guess he left. San Francisco fans are usually lifers. Yeah, they crazy. They go overboard with it too. You know, like I've been told I'm not a real fan because I don't call myself a 49er faithful, and I just don't say that because I just think that shit ignorant. Like faithful, I ain't got faith in 53 men that I don't control. The fuck we talking about here? I ain't got faith in Kyle Shanahan, the biggest choke artist in NFL history. Why would I have faith in that? It's my team, and I hope they win, damn it. Call me what you want to call me. I don't care. Lakers got a center. I know. Talked about it already, brother. Do you think that they're a championship team now? Are they better than the Thunder? Are they better than the Rockets? Nuggets? Wolves? What about the Clippers? Are they better than the Clippers? They seem like they're somewhere around 6. Are they better than the Warriors? Why haven't the Warriors done anything? They don't have a lot to work with, for one. Will you wear the belt to the 49er game this year? I hadn't worn that belt since Super Bowl 58. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hadn't worn it since Super Bowl 58, and I'm not going to any Niner games, though. I haven't bought it. I don't think I'm going. I just don't like to spend money on it because I know it's fake. So one thing about me, I'll watch it, but I like to stay well-grounded. Because when I spend money on it, that makes me even more mad because I'm like, and I knew this stuff ain't real, and yet Hey, interesting news here. The Dallas Mavericks only want LeBron in a buyout. Hey, man, this shit getting real. This shit is getting real. See, I just told y'all about 30 minutes ago, it ain't a guarantee that LeBron is going to be a Laker even this year. And right now, there's a report that just came out saying that the Mavs only want LeBron in a buyout. Dallas not interested in trading for LeBron James. Who said they were? Who said they were? Y'all, the domino is about to fall and the effect is about to take place. Now, I have, if you go follow The Great Debate Show, and this is why y'all got to follow me, y'all. Y'all got to follow, you got to subscribe. If you're not subscribing, you're not going to see me. A lot of people say that they, wait, Jay, Uncle Jay, where were you at? I didn't see you. You didn't hit the subscribe button then. How do I know that? Because Monday, I put up a video, or one day last week, I put up a video after the draft, the NBA draft, and I uploaded it because I was busy with work, and I couldn't be live at my regular scheduled time at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. But the video uploaded right before noon Eastern, and nobody watched it. How did it not pop up on your algorithm that The Great Debate Show has a new video up? You're not subscribed. That has to be it. Or do you just want to watch me live only? I can't be live all the time, but if you follow the show, you would have saw me post a picture that had LeBron James in a Maverick jersey, along with Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis and Lively. Yep, this still could happen. Now, who said the Mavericks wanted to trade for LeBron, let alone get him in a buyout? So now that begs the question, are the Lakers going to let go of LeBron in a buyout like the Portland Trail Blazers just did DeAndre Ayton? I woke some people up on YouTube, it seems. Ace 97 is back in the building. He said when Cam Newton went for that ball during the Super Bowl, I realized it was rigged then. Thank you, Ace. He couldn't pick up that damn ball. He probably wouldn't be alive right now. Why do you think Marshawn Lynch didn't run the damn ball in the end zone against the Patriots in Super Bowl 48, 49? Whatever the hell it was. Because Pete Carroll probably would be somewhere with his head chopped off right now. The Mafia would have got him. The mob would have gotten him. That's why he said throw the ball to Malcolm Butler. Yeah, it's rigged now. I'm just real enough to admit that I'll still watch it because I love football. Damn, I love the game. I'm sorry. But it's just sometimes it can look too bad for me, and I'm like, all right, I'm turning it off. I'll have to watch SportsCenter and just kind of peek and see what happened, and then I'm going to talk about it. But I'll be real with you and tell you I didn't watch that game. I'll tell you that. Anyway, I got T Sports Skid in the building, and let me see what he said. He said, let's go Dallas. He said hi. He said again, let's go Mavs. He said hi. He said his joke is getting traded. Wait a minute now. No, why would you ask that? No, that's not going to happen. I know the general manager said some stupid shit the other day, but nah, he ain't going anywhere. I don't think so. I doubt it. But these teams are trying to get out of the second apron and stay out of the second apron. And I can't explain what that means right now, but Brian Windhorst has broke it down a few times. If you watch him and cover him, he's broke it down. And it makes sense. These luxury taxes are getting hit so hard now, and these hard cap hits, and these extensions where the rookie contract turns into a real contract when they get out of the rookie deal. They have to really question themselves if they want to give this player that max deal or that super max. So that's why somebody would say something like, we would hate to trade Jokic, but we hope we don't get in that situation. But now, T, that ain't gonna happen. But thank you for your comments, Sports Skid. Sounds like he is a Maverick fan. Are you? Ace 97 said, I want LeBron to leave LA. Me too. But he's not going anywhere this year. I don't know about that, Ace. James said, you think Steph Curry is better than Magic Johnson? No. He's a better shooter, but he's not a better point guard. But you just asked me, is he better? So I don't know exactly how you mean that. Both players changed the game. Steph Curry changed it because he's the best shooter we've ever seen in our lives. Magic changed the game because he's one of the best point guards, though, that we've ever seen in our lives. Not to mention he and Larry Bird alone are the only two players that kept the NBA afloat in the 80s. It really was pretty crappy if it wasn't for those two. So they both good in their own right, but Steph Curry is not a true point guard, though, y'all. He's a true shooter. Okay, RJ3 said, if it was rigged, why do they hate Dallas? Who hates Dallas? Who says anybody hates Dallas? Maybe Jerry Jones is just smart enough to know that his team is a lot more profitable when they're losing, and they're still always in their headlines. Do you know how much money he's made off of being one of the laughing disgraces of the league? I just think people are just too silly to realize it. He's winning. Fuck what the team doing. He winning. And he already won 3 Super Bowls back in the day. Maybe he doesn't really give a shit about winning the Super Bowl. Maybe he's just faking everybody out like Vince McMahon. Maybe he just wants you to think, I want to win so bad. I want to do that. Do you think Jerry Jones is not smart enough to know? If he's smart enough to be a billionaire, you don't think he's smart enough to know that if he just stepped the fuck out the way and let somebody else run the team, they could actually probably win? If he would pay people on time and not wait till the last minute, they could actually win? And we're not going to use age for an excuse either, because he ain't always been this damn old. So how has this been going on for the past 30 years? I just think they're more profitable losing. I think they're all in on this whole thing where, hey, we're going to lose. Stephen A., you're going to get everybody to watch, and you're going to laugh, and people are going to laugh at us and talk shit, and we're going to continue to divide people on social media and be distracted. And I just think it's all fun and games, and it's a comedy show. I don't think Jerry Jones really wants to win. And if they do win, it's because he's about to die, or because he's finally about to, like, he's gotten sick or ill or something, and he knows that, all right, let's go ahead and win that championship before I leave this world, or before I pass this team on, or sell this team to somebody, or whatever. Good question, but nah, man, it's still fake. I can't tell you why they won't let everybody win. Well, yes, I can, because everybody don't bring in money. How much money did the NFL revenue get if the Tennessee Titans win the Super Bowl? Nobody cares about Tennessee. That's why the Memphis Grizzlies probably will never win a championship. Nobody gives a damn about Memphis. That's why I was so happy to see OKC win a championship this year. So happy. Because I was surprised and overwhelmed with joy that we finally got no nostalgia, no LA, no Boston. We got two small market teams. I wish the NFL would take notes. I wouldn't mind seeing the Detroit Lions go against the Tennessee Titans, or the shit. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some sorry teams. I wouldn't mind seeing the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, the Bengals did go to the Super Bowl somewhat recently, but that don't happen often. I don't mind Baltimore going against Carolina in the Super Bowl. If they're the best two teams, let's do it. But that ain't been happening since Roger Goodell took over. And that's just what it is. But good question, RJ. But I do think it's still rigged. What's up, Remington in the building? Don't matter who get Bron. OKC back-to-back. I like that comment. I like that comment. LeBron is just nostalgia. It's just content for us, content creators. It's just giving us something to talk about. What do you feel about Miles Turner going to the Bucks, but Dame time getting out? Yeah, Dame time turned into Wave time. I think it was a bad move, because even though Dame is going to be fine, because he's still getting paid through this 5-year stretch, he can go sign somewhere for cheap and still win a chip. He can go pick where he wants to go for the first time in his career, I believe. That's cool for Dame. But for the Bucks, getting Miles Turner is just to please Giannis, and Giannis still may say tomorrow, man, send me to Golden State. It could still happen. So you're reaching all for nothing probably. And even if he does stay, do you think the Bucks are going to the finals with this team and they ain't got no backcourt? So I just think when I saw them do that, I was like, what the buck are y'all doing, Milwaukee? And I think they should just blow that team up. And I think they should go ahead and send Giannis wherever he wants to go. Thank you for your services. We appreciate you. Thank you for the championship. We won shit before you, and we probably won't be shit without you. But we got to start rebuilding and let's try to see, can we be that team again? And they're reaching, being stubborn. They're the NFL Pittsburgh Steelers. And they don't realize they have to be bad enough to be good at some point. Hope I answered that question, James. I want to thank Dreamix for joining me, Remington, RJ3, with all the good comments and questions. I want to thank all of you for joining me. What's up, Darius? Lucas, how do you think Jamo and Jordan Addison are going to compare next season? If the quarterback is good, the Vikings will be good. And that's just it. I question that because he's young and that team is in win-now mode. But trust me, if J.J. McCarthy is good, Addison and those guys will be good. I think you're talking about the Vikings, am I right? I don't know who Jamo is, but Jordan Addison, is that the receiver for the Vikings? Okay. I think I'm caught up again, and they'll get a point guard or two. Who? You don't think he makes more money if they win, though? Obviously not. Obviously not. They've been doing this for 20 years straight. Just embarrassing themselves, being mediocre. He's got that TV deal, so he's gonna make money regardless, win or lose. It just seems like they're more profitable when they lose, and they're the laughing stock of the league. That's just my 2 cents now. That's just what I see. Jamison Williams, and yes, the Vikings receivers. Oh, Jameis, hold on now. Jameson Williams left the Detroit Lions for the Vikings? Is that true? I did not know that. Is that true? Okay, he said no. Who is Jameson Williams? I'm confused on who the hell is he. I know Addison is the Viking receiver. Who is he? I'm confused, Lucas. Wide receiver 2 for the Lions. Okay, I'm thinking about that fast dude that takes the top off the defense in Detroit. I thought that was the same dude. My apologies. But yeah, I like Addison. And you know how I feel about JJ. The Vikings are set. It's all about the quarterback. Is he ready to go? That's why I made the comparison with the Vikings and the 49ers of 2021. We had Trey Lance coming in, and nobody knew what to expect of Trey Lance. But we knew the Niners was in win-now mode. Can this rookie take you all the way? And then that never really panned out. But J.J. McCarthy, he got hurt just like Trey Lance. But there's nobody else holding it up. Trey Lance, that was Garoppolo still there, and Brock Purdy got drafted, and he turned out and took the job. There's nobody there in Minnesota but J.J. McCarthy. So he doesn't have anybody over his shoulder. It's just a matter of how good is he going to be. That's it. But Lucas, to answer your question, I think the Vikings will be as good as their quarterback takes them. Ace 97 says Giannis bring in too much money for Milwaukee to be traded. Yeah, I know that's why they don't want to trade him, Ace, but they have to if they want to rebuild and start over. They're just putting themselves in a deeper hole by holding on to him and saying, all right, we just made this trade, we just waived him and we signed him. What do you think about that? Is that good enough? Will you stay? You don't like that? That's not good? Okay, let's make some more moves. We're gonna do it. This is why you don't let the players be the owners. You don't let them run the asylum. Who cares what Giannis wants? Man, this is what it is. Can you win with this or get the fuck on? That's what I say. At some point, the owners have to realize, stop being greedy. We done made enough money off this cat. It's time to restart this thing. We're not going anywhere. We're swimming with no feet. I mean, they're going to be right here all season. They're still just going to be right here, barely keeping keeping their head above the water. There's no backcourt. I'm supposed to be happy that they re-signed Gary Trent Jr. The front court don't look bad, but there's no backcourt. Dame's not coming back. Okay, all right. I got to pay some bills, y'all. My time is about up here. Thank you all for joining me here on the Great Debate Show. I talked about the AFC North a little bit. I talked about the NFC North. I think that, and a lot of people said that they still got Lions 1. I think somebody said Vikes 2, Pack 3, Chicago 4. I'm going to say, and we're going to find out how important Ben Johnson is. We're about to find out. If the Lions dip a little bit without Ben Johnson and the Bears elevate a little bit with him, then he is not just an OC. He's a head coach. And we'll see if the Lions regress. I don't think that they will. Talent is talent, and the Lions still have that, and they've got people coming back. And if they can get a TJ Watt, they've already got Hutchinson back, watch out. So I'm going to say Detroit remains at 1 because of J.J. McCarthy. And he is somewhat of a dual threat because he can run. I still would like to think that the pack is coming back. Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Jordan Love coming back 100% healthy. They added Golden. What's his name? That fast receiver. That fast receiver out of Texas. He's there. And I just think that the Packers will show back up. So I want to say the Packers are going to be 2. I think the Vikings will be 3, maybe. It all depends on J.J. McCarthy. If McCarthy is that dude, then they're 2. And I really want to say they are, but I can't sleep on the Pack like that. I like Matt LaFleur, and I think that if Jordan Love is that dude, they'll be 2, Vikings 3, Bears 4. So what does that say about the Bears? Why do we still have them 4? I think it's just too much talent in the North. And I don't know if Caleb Williams is going to be, I don't know if he's going to improve enough to get them 10 wins. He may can improve them enough to get 8, but I don't know about 10 or 11. And that's what he's going to need in order to get to the playoffs, because 3 teams is probably coming out of the NFC North again. again. And I think that's the only team that had 3. No, the AFC did too, didn't it? No, it was not. It was the AFC West that had 3 teams to come out of the division and go to the playoffs. I think the North does it again in the NFC. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Caleb Williams. I think that young kid is bright. And I just think he needs to just kind of focus and relax and let that clock speed up in his head a little bit more. Get the ball out quicker, not hold it for so long. And I think they'll be all right. But can they go from 4 to 1? Can they go from 4 to 2? I just don't see the Vikings getting worse unless J.J. McCarthy is a bust. But I hear positive things about him. He's a leader. He's this, he's that. I hear all positive things, so we'll see. Mikael Williams is going to be the next Brian Young. That sounds good, Lousy P. I hope you're right, brother. Man, I hope to God you're right. Ace97 said, I sent Giannis to OKC in a heartbeat for these draft picks and players. Oh, you mean if you're Milwaukee's front office? Yeah, of course you do. But if you're OKC, why would you do it? You just won a championship without Giannis. Is there a need to give up all this young, up-and-coming talent and draft picks for Giannis? I don't know about that. The interesting thing, y'all, is that there's a report saying that the Mavs won't trade for LeBron, but they would get him in a buyout. Who the fuck said that the Mavericks would trade for LeBron? Whoever said that? It's starting to get a little interesting. Could we get some 4th of July breaking news? I remember when Anthony Davis signed with the Lakers. It happened on the 4th. I remember I was at this big-ass cookout, and everybody were Laker fans when they broke the news. The music got louder. It was a celebration. They started doing the electric slide. I said, damn. Why did the New Orleans Pelicans trade Anthony Davis to anywhere but the Lakers? And they did it. And then they won a championship the next year. Are we about to get some breaking news tomorrow? But the Lakers wouldn't do a buyout with LeBron now, would they? Would they? LeBron could have made this a lot easier and simpler. He could have just opted out, became a free agent. Could have just done that. I don't know. But we will see, y'all. Bojangles said, you sleeping on them Bengals. Who? I just said the Bengals will probably be the number 2 team in the AFC North. Maybe he's not talking to me. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's just late coming in here. I got the Bengals finishing 2 if they can get Trey Hendrickson and their first-round pick signed. I'm not sleeping on them at all, but they better get better on defense. Cole Mason, Niners winning the Super Bowl this year. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. We are going to surprise some people, man. Y'all know that 6-11 season was somewhat of a fluke, right? I know we lost some people, but to that Bronco fan that came in here and said yesterday, we got 2 of your players, man, Hufanga and Greenlaw. Yeah. And I bet the both of them combined play about 8 games. And that's why they're not Niners anymore. We got the most out of Dre Greenlaw. He's got a torn pec right now. Hufanga? He'll get injured. It'll happen. You just watch. But the Broncos still got a good defense. They do. But they ain't going to get much out of those 2. They not. Dre Greenlaw took less money to go to Denver. All right. Okay, we going to get out of here, man. I got some bills to pay. Like I said, I've been here almost 2 hours counting you all and what I did on X earlier before I started this live stream. Again, I'm here weekdays, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. If you don't catch the live stream, it's okay. Follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you will still see the content at any time you want. It just won't be live anymore. It's okay. But I'm going to start uploading some videos here pretty soon because my schedule's about to get pretty busy here for the rest of the summer. I may not be able to be here every day live, but I can guarantee that a video will be uploaded at that time, at that same time frame of noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. But you have to subscribe, and you have to be able to subscribe in order to see that video is up. Okay, I said the Lakers were going to get 8 a week ago. I was right. That's why you got to follow me. All right? It's your boy, Uncle JJ. I'm still waiting on some invites to some of these barbecues. I like potato salad. I like, you know, I like baked beans and all of that. You know? What's up? Y'all ain't gonna invite your uncle to the barbecue? I'm about to get out of here. I hope y'all have a terrific Thursday. I hope y'all have a good holiday. I'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until we meet again, y'all be safe out there. And what are we going to talk about tomorrow? I've already did the AFC North and the NFC North. So how about we do the South? We can do the NFC South and the AFC South tomorrow. All of these Texan fans that like to come in here, let's talk about the AFC South. I see some Panthers sometimes talk. Let's do that too. We can. Bojangles says, yeet. Yeah, man, we're going to sign it off. We're going to get out of here until we meet again. Y'all be safe. And peace. Thank y'all. Hit the follow button. Thank you.